Hey, right, brew day is upon us again. Today I'm brewing up an American IPA, and it's sort of Halloween themed, just around the corner now, so I thought I'd brew up a Halloween themed beer and my sort of own version of quite a well-known American IPA, I guess, called Zombie Dust. So if you don't know that beer, it is an American IPA and is made with Citra, only Citra, and it has quite a lot of Citra in it. So it's a very hoppy American style IPA. Yeah, it has good marketing and seems to be quite a good one for a seasonal theme like Halloween. So that is what I'm brewing. So the recipe for this, this is a 20 litre batch, is 83% pale malt. I am using Simpson's Best Pale Malt, 7.5% light Munich malt, 3.7% Carapils, 3.3% Crystal T50, and 2.5% amber malt. So seems a bit odd, I don't know, working in percentages sometimes, but that roughly equates to 4 kilos of pale malt, 360 grams of light Munich, 180 grams of Carapils, 160 grams of Simpson's Crystal T50, and 120 grams of amber malt. So this is my own version of it. This is not a clone of Zombie Dust. There are quite a few recipes out there and lots of variations on the same theme. This is just my own kind of recipe or my own take on it. So that is the grain bill. 4.82 kilograms in total. Hops, as I said, Citra, that's it. So I've got this nice big brick of hops of 225 grams of Citra, 2023 harvest, 12.1% alpha acids. So the way I am splitting that up is I'm doing a 30-minute boil. So I'm going to have 10 grams of Citra in at 30 minutes, giving me 12 IBUs. 15 grams of Citra at 15 minutes, giving me 11 IBUs, 20 grams of Citra at 10 minutes to give me 12 IBUs, and 20 grams of Citra at 5 minutes to give me a further 7 IBUs. And then I'm having a hop stand, 10-minute hop stand at 80 degrees, at which I will be adding 60 grams of Citra to give me another 7 IBUs. So that is taking it to a total of 49 IBUs. So incidentally, this should work out at 5.5% ABV. So yeah, it's got a bit of punch to it. So those 49 IBUs should, it should balance out. It should be a nicely balanced out beer, that's what I'm saying. So further to that, there is a dry hop, 4 days with 100 grams of Citra. So it's a total of 225 grams of Citra, as I said, so it should be fairly Citra-y. Yeah, so should be good. The yeast I'm using is Mangrove Jack's Liberty Bell M36. For a change, I think the original recipe uses an English ale yeast. So yeah, I'm going to go with Mangrove Jack's Liberty Bell. I haven't used that for a while, but yeah, it worked out quite well, sort of hop forward and malty beers. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using reverse osmosis water, and I've punched in Brewfather the profile or target profile as American IPA, so I'll be adjusting my water according to that. I will be fermenting at 20 degrees there or thereabouts for 2 weeks, cold crash, and then in the keg. So that's pretty much all there is to say about it, really. Yeah, so I'll get that mashed in, get it fermenting, get a little bit of footage on the way, and I shall see you at the tasting, which will hopefully be maybe 2-3 days before Halloween if I've timed it right. So yeah, for once I seem to be ahead of myself in actually planning, which yeah, is quite rare. So I'll see you at the end. Cheers. here it is, just in time for Halloween, zombie fluff. I just poured this straight off the keg. It's been in the keg conditioning for about 4 weeks, excuse me. As soon as I start talking, I start coughing. Can't get rid of it, so apologies for that in advance. Yeah, it's been in the keg for about 4 weeks, and I've been enjoying it over the last few weeks. Like with any kind of hoppy beers, I guess probably in its prime early on, so it's best drunk young rather than left to condition for a long time. But I don't know, 4 weeks is probably, there's not much difference between how it was drinking a couple of weeks ago till now. I'd say maybe the aroma of the hops have changed slightly, but it's still lovely and hoppy, and it's got that beautiful Citra aroma. So I mean, I can smell it from here. I don't need to bring it up to my big hooter to smell the beautiful wafts of Citra that are coming off of this. So yeah, let's have a look. First of all, before we dive in, I hope you can see it's kind of like a nice deep golden colour from those malts, and it's got nice sort of tight frothy head on it. Quite reasonably well carbonated, this, but yeah, it's not fizzy, but it's quite well carbonated. So yeah, I mean, in terms of looks, pretty nice. There's a slight haze on it, I'd say, but I've made no attempt to clear it, and don't really care about that, to be honest. As long as it tastes good, I don't really care about clarity, says the man with an unclear beer. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice looking beer. It's cold. And it's got some condensation on the glass, so you can't really see through it, but yeah, you can probably see there's a slight haze, but it's a lovely deep golden colour, I'd say. As I've already said, yeah, it smells of Citra, so unsurprisingly, I guess, with that amount of Citra in it. But yeah, the typical sort of, I'd say it's more tropical than citrusy. I always think Citra automatically makes you think of citrus fruits. I mean, there is definitely like a citrusy edge to it, but I'd say it's more leaning towards those tropical notes than Citra on aroma. So, mango and pineapple and all those kind of things. Smells really nice, sort of like that sweet candy kind of fruit thing going on as well. I mean, there is a kind of citrusy note to it, but as I say, the dominant sort of aroma there is definitely tropical fruits. It smells lovely. So let's dive in. Yeah, it's really nice. Complex sort of maltiness to it from the crystal and the amber, and the pale ale malt obviously backing it up. So yeah, there's a lot going on in the malts, I'd say, which gives it a nice surprising complexity, I'd say. It's got a really nice assertive bitterness to it, so I think it finished, what did I say, 49, 50 kind of IBUs, which is what I was aiming for. So it's punchy, it's got a punchy bitterness, but it doesn't feel kind of like an overwhelming bitterness. It feels well balanced with the malts and the hops. So yeah, I mean, if it was any lower, it might become a bit more sort of, I don't know. It feels well balanced as it is. I wouldn't probably go any lower than that on the bitterness if you're thinking about brewing it. But it's a really nice beer. I think really happy with the choice of yeast as well. That Liberty Bell has really done a good job in kind of making a nice balanced beer. It's not, it's not too clean that it's kind of left the hops out there, and the malts. It feels homogenized into one nice beer, which kind of you get with those English ale yeasts, in my opinion. They bring it all together. There are some kind of esters from that yeast coming through as well. I think it might have had an effect on the mouthfeel as well, because it's got quite a nice full mouthfeel to it. But saying that, there's kind of a nice dryness at the end as well. So really pleased with that yeast. I'm going to be using that a lot more in the future. Kind of forgotten how good that was. I've used it a few times recently actually, or once or twice recently I should say. And yeah, I'm always pleased with how it comes out. So yeah, once again, happy with that yeast choice. It's a lovely beer. If you like Citra and you like beer, then this is the one for you. It is really nice, and you know, Citra is probably one of the most popular hops, certainly amongst home brewers, and if not, you know, breweries, craft breweries, for a reason, because it's so damn good. And this really just highlights how good Citra is on its own. Really nice smooth bitterness, beautiful flavour, fantastic tropical aroma. I mean, it'd be difficult to pick out a single hop that is better than that and ticks all the boxes like this one does. So yeah, really pleased with how it's turned out. I would definitely, if you're looking for something a little bit different, American IPA, bit of bitterness, bit of Citra punch, then give it a go. I would highly recommend it. Definitely enjoying it. And I'm gonna have a few more pints before Halloween, maybe on Halloween as well. So yeah, anyway, cheers for now.